All right, guys, welcome back to No Man's Sky. This is SurvivalBob, and this guy, I don't know him. Anyway, we just woke up on this planet, and we've got to figure out how to survive. First thing we have to do is get ferrite dust. Ferrite dust is found in rocks. Get 75 ferrite dust, and then we're going to fix our scanner. Now, it will tell you once you try to use the scanner how much ferrite dust you have. So go ahead and hit the C button or the scan button for you on your controller. Then you can get a much better idea of how much ferrite dust you have. See down there in the bottom hand corner, it says we've got it. Let's go ahead and hit it. Fix it. What we need to stay alive on this planet is sodium. Now, thankfully, I see sodium right there because it's a glowy yellow plant. That is going to recharge our hazard protection. As you can see, we are on a planet that is 171 degrees. There it is. Got it. Okay, we got the sodium. Now we can recharge our hazard protection and start figuring out what to do. Now, you're going to want to look around. Now, if you are in single player and have multiplayer turned off, you can go into photo mode. Photo mode is going to be found right here. Photo mode is going to pause the game if you are not in multiplayer, and this will give you a chance to kind of look around and survey your surroundings. You can look for a cave, move the sun, and use that to kind of look for the glowy spots to help you out. You can move the camera, do whatever if you are okay with this method. Now, I don't like to do this unless I absolutely have to, because I kind of want to be immersed in the game and figure it out as I go. Now, again, if you're in multiplayer, this is it's going to keep going and you're going to take damage during this time. So make sure you have multiplayer turned off if you want to go that route. We have found the sodium, we have recharged our suit, and we have a new marker showing up, which is a signal source. That is going to be for our ship. Now, as we go towards our ship, we're going to want to pick up a few resources. We're definitely going to want to pick up dihydrogen crystals, and we're going to want to try to get there just as fast as we can. Now, I am using this little blue flower to do that. Be very careful when you do that because you will run out of jetpack burst, and you could fall to your death if you're not paying attention.
Oh, crap!
Now, if you're in normal mode, it shouldn't be that bad, but if you're playing in survival or permadeath, you will die from a very short fall. Right, Jason? I will teach you how to punch jump like this as we go, but I'm going to grab up these dihydrogen crystals. I'm going to grab up carbon, which is going to be the plant life, and I'm going to grab up ferrite dust, which is the rocks that we mentioned earlier, because we're going to need all of these things as we're moving forward. Now, once I get to my ship, I will be able to recharge. Now, if I see a cave along the way, I'm going to get in the cave, but I am not seeing one. If you see a cave, jump in the cave. Now, these plants, they will try to spit on you, but you can get oxygen from them by grabbing the pods right here and then shooting them as well. You mine them up and you'll get oxygen as well. You're going to need oxygen to recharge your life support if you don't have any life support gel. Well, we're going to learn how to make life support gel, and we're going to learn how to make ion batteries, so we don't have to pick up plants all the time where we want to recharge. It's much more efficient. But for now, we do what we got to do. Now, normal mode is the normal mode that most people play on. There is survival, there is permadeath. Those are much more difficult, and they have lower stack sizes. So if you're asking yourself at some point in this video, why is your stack size so much higher than mine? It's because I'm playing in normal mode, which is what probably 90% of the people do. All right, so we made it to our ship. This beacon is here. I've got enough hazard protection, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to the beacon. This is going to tell us the story and what is going on. Now, we basically find ourselves alone on a strange planet, and we're picking up clues to figure out kind of who we are, how we got here, and what is our purpose. I'm not going to go through the text with you guys. I don't want to ruin the story for you, but there are spoilers in this because I kind of have to tell you what to do in order to teach you how to play. I will avoid the story where I can, but the only way to not get spoiled is to just do it yourself. Whenever you interact with one of these boxes, if you don't see that you get something, go back in it and interact with it again. If you can't interact with it again, then you got the thing. There's always at least 4 oxygen plants right by your ship, because you are going to need this to move the storyline forward. All right, now once you get into your ship, your suit will recharge, but it will not recharge until after you go through this process. So don't hop right out afterwards, because you're going to have to hop right back in. We're going to click through this auto diagnostic. We want to get to the point where it is teaching us how to fix our ship. Pulse engine's broken, it's offline, so are our launch thrusters. Our exosuit's going to start talking to us, and once it starts, it will never shut up. But you kind of get used to it, I guess. We're going to connect our exosuit. That's going to get us there the fastest. So let's repair our ship, and now it's going to take us on self-guided repair protocols where it teaches us how to do the things. Okay, yep, this is broken. We need some parts to fix it. Some of these parts we already know how to make and others we don't. We're gonna go on that in just a minute. Now, if you look right here, you can see that our hazard protection is recharging very quickly. And once it gets all the way to the top, then we can hop out of our ship with a fully charged exosuit. Now, let's run over here to this damaged machinery and take a look at this. Now, when you come to these machines, you're gonna see facium or goop or rust or something to that effect. Grab that, keep it. It's gonna be useful later on, okay? Now, you can throw it away. In later game, I tend to throw it away just because I don't feel like dealing with it. But for now, might as well grab it. My weapon is depleted, so I need to recharge it. We're gonna recharge it with carbon. And that wiped out most of my carbon. Now we need to make a metal plating. This is where we're gonna come into the crafting menu. Let's start at the top. We've got exosuit, starship, and multi-tool. And then those have their own tabs as well. So we'll start with the exosuit. And we've got our general tab. This is our general storage. Then we've got technology. This will only hold technology items. So we can go ahead and move our jetpack and our hazard protection and these things over here just to make more room in general, because we can't put like this in here. See, it's grayed out. We can't do that. Now, our cargo is high capacity storage. We'll be able to store more of in our cargo. Others, it'll be the same amount, but it gives you some high capacity. And on survival mode, you don't lose that if you die. So that's a bonus as well. All right, so it wants us to make a metal plating. So we're gonna come here and we're gonna craft a product. This is our crafting menu. This is what we are born knowing how to make. Not much stuff here, but we're gonna learn more recipes as we go. Let's go ahead and craft that metal plating. And then we're gonna move over to the next tab, which is our starship tab. Same thing, general and technology. We'll worry about moving this tech later. We're gonna click on the part that's blinking, and then we're gonna click on the damaged component, and it will just stick the metal plating there. All right, now we also need to get a hermetic seal. Unfortunately, we don't know how to make a hermetic seal. It wasn't in our crafting menu. And the ship is gonna say, hey, you need a hermetic seal and you don't know how to make it. So let's help you with that. Request assistance. If we search the distress beacon over here, which is now marked for us, we will get a map. Once we get that map, it's going to take us to a building which will give us a hermetic seal and the blueprint so that we can make it ourselves from now on. Ready to go. Let's check our hazard protection. We are golden. We are going to hit that and plot the route. Now, take note, it's going to give you a big overhead view. And just look around, see if you see anything. I see a building up on the top left. Let's see if that... No, we're going the bottom right. Okay. All right, so we're going a different direction than I thought. But there is another building over there, so if you really want to explore a bunch, you can. So as we go, a storm is going to come, and this is going to teach us about hazard protection and survival and all of that stuff. This is one of the more difficult parts of it, but if you go straight there and don't dilly-dally, you should be okay. Now, I'm going to be gathering up a few materials along the way. I'm not super worried about it because I've done this enough times to know that I can take some storm damage, and it will be okay. Now, you see some animals, some weird little dudes running around. Like, what the hell is that? You see these guys running around. On the first planet, they should not be hostile to you. On the second planet, they will. Not all of them, but they could. If they are hostile, you'll know that because you'll see a little red paw print, which is an aggro symbol, show up to say that they are not happy with you and they're coming to get you. But if you don't see the aggro symbol, don't sweat it, okay? Even if they're coming right for you.
It's coming right for us!
Now, your mining beam is also a weapon. You can use it to do damage to the animals. You can kill them and harvest their meat as well. Oh, look at this. Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta take this oxygen because this is huge. Look at this berry patch. All right, now. All right, maybe I'll get it on the way back. Let's go get the sodium, which is probably more important right now since the storm is upon us. There we go. One thing you'll see me doing is you'll see me changing between running and boosting. When I'm running, I'm letting my boost recharge. And then when I get to the end of my run, I'm gonna boost and melee at the same time. I'm actually gonna melee just before I boost so that I can get that kind of flying forward deal going on. Give it a little bit of practice. You're gonna wanna use the melee button, which is Q on PC, and then boost, and it helps if you're running to give you that little extra oomph to go forward. Now, I've got time, so I'm not running straight in, but feel free to run straight into these and get your hazard protection back up. Hollow Archive. This is going to give us our hermetic seal and the plans to build another one. Bam, I got it. Now, look around in here because there may be a little disc thing like this, which you can grab. That's going to be encrypted nav data or nanites or something like that. I got 15 nanites right there. So we've got our hermetic seal. I'm waiting for the storm to die down. The things that you're going to want to focus on are going to be carbon, sodium, oxygen, and dihydrogen. I'll put the other stuff down here at the bottom. Oh, and ferrite dust, because it's not really something I'm super worried about right now. Okay, so this is what you want to worry about. You're going to have carbon and condensed carbon. You're going to have sodium and sodium nitrate, dihydrogen, and then you're going to make dihydrogen jelly out of dihydrogen right there with the crafting menu, and then you'll have multiple forms of ferrite dust. Now this rusted metal will be able to be refined into ferrite dust, and we'll get to the refiner in just a second. But first thing I want to do before I go back, and this is going to tell us in the storyline, is we're going to want to make a carbon nanotube, because when we go to our multi-tool, which is the third tab, we can come over here and we can install our analysis visor. And to install that, we just click it, and then we add the carbon nanotube that we just made. We have our analysis visor. Now we can use the F key on keyboard to look around, and we see all these little markers. So we've got damaged machinery, we've got some copper, subterranean relics, we've got all kinds of things that we can see. The most important thing you need is your starship, which is going to be right there. And now it's going to be on my heads-up display. You see at the top, because I have the analysis visor. I'll always be able to find my ship, and I should not get lost. We can use this to scan things by holding down the F key and then scanning with the left click. What that's going to do is it's going to tell us more about what we just scanned. So here's an animal over here. We can scan this little funky dude, and we can find out all about him. They have a thick skull. Good for them. Now we can also scan plants and minerals, and this will give us primary and secondary element if there is one. So this one has carbon and then a secondary element of selenium. Now before, when I was mining it, I would only get the primary element. Now I'm going to get the secondary element as well because I have scanned it. We get more resources by scanning things. And you're going to get some money as well in the form of units. So this is going to give me carbon and mortite. Let's scan a few things, see if there's anything useful in any of these plants. This one's just got one, and it's carbon. Now the other thing we'll be able to do with scanning these things is we'll be able to upload that data, and we'll be able to get nanites for that. Let's see what the secondary element in the rocks are. Probably phosphorus. It is phosphorus. Now phosphorus can be used to recharge. One way to be able to tell really quick is to grab it and then go over to, okay, so this will recharge our mining beam because it was the only thing that lit up. Ooh, we got a cache right here. Now, this damaged container should have rusted metal, which is good because we're going to refine that, as I mentioned, it down into ferrite dust. We're going to use a lot of ferrite dust. Other thing you're going to run into is different plants. You'll see this kind of thing. This is wheat. We can grab that. We can use that to refuel either our hazard protection or our life support. If you eat it, you consume it in your inventory menu, it'll tell you what it's doing to help you out. So let me grab this oxygen. We'll come over here to our exosuit, and then we can consume this. So I'm going to consume 2 of those, and it will say temperature levels recovering. So it is recovering my hazard protection. Pretty cool. Another way to recharge your suit without sodium. I'm really looking for a cave, and I'm not seeing it. So if you find a cave, which is very probable, it's not every time, but it's very often, a cave is going to give you the stalactites and stalagmites that you see will have cobalt in them. Every planet that I'm aware of that you start on is going to have that option, so you're going to want to grab it. That cobalt can be used to make an ion battery, which can also be used to charge your life support, and that's going to be right here. All it takes is 10 cobalt and 5 ferrite dust. Very easy, and that's going to recharge your life support. Definitely look for a cave so you can find cobalt. That's the quickest way to get it. Now, the other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make life support gel. Life support gel is used with dihydrogen, which you have to craft that first out of the dihydrogen, and then add 20 carbon to that, and you can make a life support gel. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a second one of those as well, just to have those ready. I'm going to go ahead and eat these fire berries and just see what they do. Okay, so the fire berries are actually recharging my life support, so let's go ahead and eat those up. Now, as you run, your life support will go down faster. You'll see as I'm walking normal, I got 1 arrow, and then once I start running, I've got 2 arrows, which means it's using it faster. Just something to be aware of. Come back to this nice safe ship on fire, totally normal. Now it is flashing to put in the hermetic seal, so let's go ahead and slap that in there. Fancy music. And it's time to fix the launch thrusters. Now, to fix the launch thrusters, we're going to need to craft a product with dihydrogen jelly, and then we're going to need to refine ferrite dust into pure ferrite. In order to do that, we're going to need to make a refiner. Let's first make the jelly, because that's what the computer wants us to do. So we're going to make the jelly. If you're standing close enough to your ship, you don't have to be in it, but you can repair it as long as you're close enough to it, which I was. So we've got that fixed. Now we need to make pure ferrite. In order to do that, we're going to need to make a portable refiner. It's Z on PC will build up your build menu. And you can see the only thing I know how to build right now is a portable refiner, which takes 30 oxygen, which is why I was grabbing the oxygen, and then 1 metal plating. So we go back over here and we make a metal plating. It takes 50 ferrite dust to do that. And then we're going to slap that bad boy down right here. Now this will be fueled with carbon or condensed carbon. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to stick all of it in there. I'm just going to stick half of it in there by hitting C. You will get it back, but you know, carbon's kind of short right now. So I'm going to pay attention to that. All right, so I need 50 of this. Let's go ahead and start it, and you'll see down here at the bottom, it'll tell you how many you have, or how many you need, I should say. I'm gonna try to stop it. 51. And then while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and start refining some of the other stuff I have. So while that is refining, we'll come over here. We'll fix this. And now we're ready to leave the planet, just like that. You can take your time and explore here if you want to, but you need to go to the next planet because that is where it's going to teach you about the base computer and start opening up the warp drive for you. I'm going to just take a minute and gather a little bit more resources while I wait for the refiner, and then we'll go to the next planet. Now, when you're mining, you want to watch your mining beam. You'll notice your beam changes color. It starts off green, and then as it heats up, it will turn red. If you keep it in the red zone, which is close to 100%, you're going to be getting more resources faster. You see I'm yellow, and now it's red. So now, once it turns yellow and red, I'm just going to kind of tap it so I don't overheat it. Now, I am known to overheat mine because I'm impatient. If you want to take your time and be as efficient as possible, just give it a little tappy tap and don't overheat it. There we go. All right. We're gonna go ahead and pick this up, and this will go into my inventory right here, and we'll be able to lay it down the same way we did before. I'm gonna show you a couple different ways to do this, and you're gonna choose what's best for you, okay? To take off, we're gonna hit the W key, just follow the on-screen. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. First thing I always do is I go to my utilities, and if you're on keyboard, you can hotkey this, and I'm gonna hotkey the first person, third person to 9 for me. Okay, and then that'll allow me to switch back and forth between first and third person. Now, I saw another building around here somewhere. I just hit my scanner button from my ship, and I saw another building right over here. Oh, baby. This is a trade post. All right, this is probably not going to happen for you, okay? But this is a trade post. When you see a green thing here, you can come and land on it. Now, don't go flying around for an hour looking for this. This was just dumb luck, so I'm going to take it, okay? Now, the reason I landed here was because, well, A, it's a trade post, and it's awesome, but B, it doesn't cost me anything to take off and land. I don't have to deal with launch fuel. Launch fuel is a thing. You see, I don't have very much at all, and I don't think I can take off again without making more. But I'm going to get all kinds of free crap right here. People just leave stuff on the landing pad, and apparently nobody cares if you steal it. So go ahead and help yourself. Now, you're going to run into these different container types. We haven't talked about this yet. This requires an Atlas pass, these cylindrical containers, which we don't have access to at this point. I can tell you about those, but let me just kind of say, you learn the recipe for that a little bit later on, but there's nothing great in them, really. That is going to be game-changing, so don't sweat it too much. Now, these are the first aliens we're coming in contact with. These are Gek. Little weird dudes wear hubcaps on their heads and look like they need to change their diaper. This is a trade terminal. I'm going to come in here and I am going to buy some ion batteries. Let's see, I've got 3,800 units, so let's see what I can sell first. I'm going to go ahead and sell that wheat for 7,600 units. That's a great deal. I'm going to sell this facium. Facium is actually poop, guys, so, you know, if you like to hang on to poop, help yourself.
Not for me.
So let's go ahead and sell that. I'm going to sell that phosphorus because I'd rather have the 900 bucks. I'm going to buy ion batteries. I'm used to having enough money that I can just buy all of them, but I don't have that much right now. So I'm just going to buy 10. And then we'll buy some life support gel. Buy 10 of those. Now, you can go talk to these ship pilots. There's stuff you can buy and sell from them. You can buy these ships. This hauler costs 48 million units. We are nowhere near that one. This one's only 16 million. It's a steal. You can buy this crappy shuttle over here for 1.6 million, none of which are in our price range right now. I wanted to show you this. You can craft ion batteries with cobalt and ferrite dust. If you mine cobalt and you have an opportunity to buy batteries, go ahead and buy the batteries. It is much cheaper to buy the batteries than to buy the components and actually make them. All right, so we've got what we can get here. So let's move on. Now, when you first get into space, you're gonna come into an asteroid belt. These are everywhere because asteroids provide you materials. The main one being tritium, which is what is used to fuel your pulse drive, which is how you get around a solar system. The tritium will go into your pulse engine, just like that. You'll get some, but whenever you stop in space, there's pretty much gonna be an asteroid belt right there. You're also gonna get gold and silver and platinum as well, which you can use to sell. So I would recommend mining up at least 100,000 worth of materials by shooting up the asteroids. So I'm going to do that real quick. These are very rich in gold, which is awesome. Now you also have rockets that you can use if you overheat your weapons. So while we're doing this, you can go ahead and boost to test out your ship systems. You're going to want to fly normally, then you're going to want to hold the shift key if you're on keyboard to boost, which makes you go a little bit faster. And then you're going to want to third engine test is the pulse engine, and I'll do that just as soon as I get a little bit more stuff here. Test systems 3 of 3 is done, and now we're going to get a phone call. So you can do whatever you want on this. I'm just going to go through it as quickly as I can. There is no space station on your overhead display right now, but if you look very closely, you can find it. You see the lines going between the systems. Those are trade routes. Following the lines is going to be able to take you to different places of interest, other planets and things. Now, the other thing you can do, which is usually quicker, is go to your overhead display, and you'll see the planets show up on the inside here. And then this diamond, that's the space station. So if I wanted to go directly to the space station without following the quest, let's say I needed ion batteries and I didn't find a trade post, I could follow this to the trade station. Now, I don't see it, but I know it's there. It's probably on the other side of this planet. And look, there it is. Now, don't worry about pulsing through these asteroids. It doesn't do any damage to your ship. And you can see right here is the space station. We'll come back to that, but go ahead and land in there. It's not gonna hurt you. You can run around, buy some stuff if you want to, but we'll be back there in just a few minutes, okay? So we're going to our signal source. Now here, it is not gonna take us exactly where we are supposed to go. They've implemented a new system in the game where you use your scanner, like I was showing you, to track down a location, and it's really designed to make you walk around on foot more. Well, I'm kind of lazy and I don't like to do that. So as I'm coming in, I'm scanning the area, and I'm gonna hit my scanner to try to find where I think it's going to want to send me. Now, the reason I want to land as close as I can to it is because I want to be able to access my ship inventory without having to take off my ship again. See how the marker just moved right there? Now, if you don't find it, don't worry. Just land, and you're going to go into your visor. Your visor is normally in analysis mode, but it will be in this target mode, okay? So use this target sweep to find this area if you don't see it overhead. This is where it's going to give you the base computer. So we're going to decipher the signal, and it's going to give us plans. This next part of the quest is going to teach us how to build a base, teach us about blueprints, and teach us about mining with the terrain manipulator. So we get our base computer plans and the terrain manipulator plans. Bam. And in order to make the base computer, we need chromatic metal. Chromatic metal, I could have bought it if I had enough money at that last place, but that's very unusual. So we're going to do it the way we're intended to do it, and that's by installing a terrain manipulator into our multi-tool. Install the terrain manipulator is going to require 2 carbon nanotubes and 1 dihydrogen jelly, and then we come back over here and slap that in. Bam. This creates a manual save, and it gives you some navigational data, as well as giving you an area of location on the map. Now, whenever I see one of these, I'm going to grab it. It's going to create 2 save points now, okay? So we have our automatic save point. What's up, bro? How's it going? Our automatic save point whenever we jump out of our ship, and then a manual save point whenever you hit one of these, and then there's also manual save beacons you can get later on. The other thing I'm looking for, you see this little blue chevron right here. This is going to be buried technology. Now that we have our terrain manipulator, we can dig a hole in the ground and get the buried technology, which is awesome. Terrain manipulator can dig holes, it can fill holes, it can raise ground, it can flatten ground. Okay, be careful when you're using it with a base because ground and the bases are kind of glitchy. I always build my bases off the ground and don't rely on terrain that I move to always stay gone. So what I'm looking for now is copper. There's one, 400 U away. All right. So a trick that I used to do all the time that I don't do as much anymore is I used to use some of the equipment in my ship to get the copper. So my last beginner's guide, I did that. I like the rockets now, so I don't destroy them anymore. If you're not into rockets or you don't see copper anywhere around you, you can come, and if you hover over the rockets, you can see that if you dismantle, you're going to get 100 copper and 50 condensed carbon. Anything you can dismantle, it will tell you what you will get by dismantling it. Now, it's going to cost twice that to repair it, and I happen to like the rockets now, so I'm not going to dismantle it. Let's just go get the copper. Now, I'm going to teach you how to make so much money that you're going to be able to buy all the resources you want and not have to worry about mining unless you really want to. But until then, we're going to be a little bit more thrifty. So we're going to have our terrain manipulator. Now, your terrain manipulator will have different size balls, okay? Usually big balls are great, but they're great for making holes, but they're not great for collecting resources. The smaller the ball, the more resources you're going to collect. So I'm going to small ball this guy and grab as much copper as I can. Copper refines to chromatic metal at a rate of 2 to 1, so 2 copper will refine into 1 chromatic metal. We're going to need 30 chromatic metal to make our base computer, and I know we're going to need another 125 in just a few minutes in order to fix our warp drive as part of the quest line. I'm going to get as much copper as I can, hoping that I'll have enough to do both. And if not, I'm going to be on the lookout to purchase some when we go to the space station. Now, one thing I know a lot of people like to do while they're mining is you can hit your scanner, and it will show you exactly where all of the copper is, so you can try to make sure you don't miss any. I don't particularly like doing that because it's just in the way and it's kind of annoying. Now, another cool thing you can do with the terrain manipulator is if you aim right at the base of these little asshole plants, you can make them go away just like that. Now, you don't get the resources for mining them, but you feel good and it looks cool. Now, this is one of these knowledge word thingies. This is going to teach you the language of the species that you are around. This happens to be a Gek system, so it's going to teach me Gek. First thing I learn is the word Gek. Now, talking to those aliens, I could also learn words, but I didn't want to stick around there. I'm trying to show you different ways to do things, but I don't want to go too far off the normal path. I want to show you that No Man's Sky really is a game of opportunity. If you know what to look for, you can see opportunities everywhere to take this path a different way, which makes it fun for me to start over and over and see where it takes me. Okay, here's a cave. So here are the stalactites I was talking about. This one is made of cobalt. And might as well grab the silver while we're here too. You'll see silver, gold, platinum, not a ton, but every now and then you'll see some. Be careful going into caves, especially before you have a terrain manipulator. When you have a terrain manipulator, you can dig yourself out of any hole, but if you don't, it can kind of suck. And definitely don't bitch at me if you get lost in a cave. That's on you, bro, okay? Now, back in the day, and in some of the older guides you may have seen, they're going to tell you to mine up a whole bunch of this. I wouldn't do that. 100 is fine because that's going to give you plenty of ion batteries. Don't want to waste the time on it. And now, if you get a geode, you can turn that into additional cobalt. Watch out for these plants, these hazardous plants. They're going to try to poison you, but they will give you sodium and oxygen. So you want to be on the lookout for them, mainly so you can shoot them and get their resources. Marrow bulb is another resource. This is a plant you'll find in caves as well, along with the cobalt, and this can be refined into sodium if you need sodium. Quite honestly, you shouldn't need a ton of sodium if you have cobalt, because then you should be making batteries. Occasionally you'll run into these planets where it's really hard to find the caves, like on this one. Another way to kind of find caves is by looking for like subterranean relics. That means it's going to be probably in a cave, and you can dig down to it potentially and find a cave that way if you can't find the main entrance to it. You definitely are going to need at least 3 buried technology units, so go ahead and grab some of those along the way. Now, there will be some at the location where you get your plans for your base computer, so you don't have to go on the lookout for extra ones, but you're going to want a lot of this as you go through the game, and it's valuable early on. Definitely grab that, and then grab nanites out of these damaged machineries as well. You can also get modules which will give you additional help in some area. It could be life support, it could be a jetpack boost, a movement module, could be a hazard protection. There's lots of different things you can get out of those, so try to grab what you see. We have come back, and we are going to put our 285 copper into our refiner and turn it into 142. Damn, we don't have quite enough, so we still need to find some more chromatic metal or copper, because we're going to need 155, I think, total. Now, once I throw down the base computer, it's going to start me on a quest which is going to create a storm and try to teach me a little bit about bases protecting you in a storm, basically. I'm not interested in learning stuff, okay? So I want to make sure that I am prepared before we build the base. Now, you don't have to build a big elaborate base. This does not have to be your forever home. I damn sure am not going to live here forever, because this place kind of sucks. In fact, it sucks so bad I decided to go to another planet to build my first base. See if there's something worth building next to. I like to build next to a building if I can. Free parking. Thank you very much. This is where we're going to build. What do we got here? What's in here? Oh, this is an abandoned miner's outpost. Because this place is infested. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, sweet. But it does have a working trade terminal in it so we can buy and sell stuff. This place sells chromatic metal. Perfect. The thing to be careful of here is these eggs, okay? We'll talk about these whispering eggs here in a minute, but do not shoot these until you're ready, because monsters are going to jump out of the ground and try to murder you, okay? And slap a base computer down, and we will claim this abandoned terminal in the name of Bob. We're going to throw it down, same way we did the refiner, and then we're going to interact with it. When we interact with it, it's going to start telling you stuff, and then it's going to allow you to claim the base. And now it's going to start the base computer quest. So we talk to it again, and it's going to access the logs from the previous user. Apparently we got to use base computer somehow. I don't know how. We just made it, but whatever. So let's just slap a base down right here. I'm going to make a small little base. And there's our weather warning. Oh no, we're out of carbon. All right, if you're running out of carbon, go mine some plants. If there's not any plants close by, you can also refine oxygen into carbon. Let's not refine all of our oxygen, Bob. That would not be a good idea. There we go. Bam. So now it wants us to build our construction research unit. Now that we come here, we're going to research our buildable technologies. You can also research structures, and you can access them both from the same menu. You just kind of go left and right here. But we're going to need to learn, first off, is a base teleport module, and then we're going to need to learn a biofuel reactor. We're also going to need the electrical wiring, but that one's free. And then you can use other salvage data for whatever you like. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. And then for the biofuel reactor, we need 1 metal plating and then 25 oxygen. So let's go ahead and grab that. Now we just stick it right there, and then the wiring. Now the biofuel reactor, I used to hate on it all the time because I would never use this to power a base. But I will use it for short-term power to the teleporter. Okay, so it says insufficient power, it's not powered. Now in order to move forward, we have to fuel this. Be very careful when you fuel this for the first time, because when you pick up something to put in there, it's going to give you everything in that stack. I don't want to put all my oxygen in there because I can't take it back out. I'm going to grab the stack and I'm going to put just 1 in it. You can put 2, but I'm just going to stick 1 because that's all I need to get credit for it. And I don't need that thing on all the time. So I'm going to grab these. There's a couple ways to do it. One is to grow a pair and just shoot them and try not to die. May not be the safest thing, especially if you're brand new. And if you're watching this, you're probably relatively new. So let me show you the safe way. And you're going to want to go down into that hole, and you're going to shoot up and let the balls roll down to you. There's a couple ways you can go about grabbing these. You can dig the holes. You can also build a box around them, since we have a base here. And I'll show you both methods. Now we can tear these walls down anytime, okay? I can run inside to get away from these things. I can jump in my ship to get away from them. I can get in my house to get away from them. Or I can jump up on the roof. Actually, you know what? I don't want to lose it. So let's shoot them from the hole. Because I want all of the balls. Alright, there we go. Shit nuts is going on. Alright, go away, guys. Piss off. Get out of my hole. Get out of the hole. It's my hole. Now the swarm will eventually go away. All right, see, they can't get me in the hole. Now sometimes they can get close. As soon as I come out of the hole, they're all over me. All right, so we got them all. It looks like they're all in the square. Yep, we're good. So now I can safely run around the outside. You want to grab these balls quick and do them one at a time because they will disappear. Never felt so safe doing this. They're still all in the box, all mad. Come on, there we go. I think that's it, right? You guys good? I want to make glass walls now so that I can look at them all mad in there. All right, so I got 27. That's awesome. So I can sell those for 1.7 million right now and have a great amount of walking around money. I'm not going to do that. I don't think. I'd rather have the nanites, because the nanites are going to upgrade technology, and technology makes life so much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and sell the salvage data instead for 100K, just so I have 250. Now I know I'm going to need 5 microprocessors. Let's go ahead and buy the microprocessors just so we have them. And let's buy all the chromatic metal again. All right, now this is very important. When you come to the space station for the first time, you've got two sides. The technology is going to be on the other side. This is going to be the merchants and the other stuff. The first time you come to the space station, the first time only, you're asking about 16. And this freaks out aliens, and that will never ever talk to you again, okay? Do not talk to the guys in the stalls. Hey bro, what's up? Only talk to the guys walking around, okay? The first three. Now, if you talk to the guys in the booths, it's not the end of the world. Don't restart unless you just really want to, because you're going to go to tens of, if not hundreds of systems, and you'll be able to use all the other booths, okay? If this becomes your home system, it may become annoying, but this doesn't have to be your home system. You can relocate. You can have as many bases as you want. Now, one thing I don't think I've mentioned, but if you look through your visor, you can see the class of the ship, A class, 48 plus 8. You can also see the value, 112 million. Yeah, that's out of our price range. So this is a fighter, C class, 16 plus 2. That's how many bases it has in general, and then how many in technology. Mine is a 15 plus 4. Radiant pillar, same thing you have. Everybody starts with the same ship. It sucks. So over here in the space station, we've got a place to upgrade and scrap ships. We're not going to worry about that. If you want to change your suit because you don't like it, come to the appearance modifier right now. All right, so we want to grab a new suit slot. You can install this in general, technology, or cargo. You'll see the price down here. I'm going to go to technology first because I am about to buy me some technology with my nanites. Now that I have that, I'm going to talk to this guy. This first guy is the technology merchant for the exosuit, which is why he sells the upgrade. And let's see what he has. I only buy S-Class, and I'm looking for movement modules, and I'm looking for shield modules, okay? So I'm going to grab that movement module. When you put in your upgrade, you want it to be adjacent to the underlying technology. So this is going to be next to the jetpack, and you see it highlights. That gives an adjacency bonus. So this gives me 200% more jetpack tanks. It's going to recharge 25% faster, give me 8% initial boost power, and then be 15% more fuel efficient, which means I should be able to go a little bit longer. And that's what she said. Now, I can only buy one of those because that's all he has. Now, if I want more and I have more nanites, which I do, I can reload my save in this station by jumping in my ship, creating an autosave when I jump back out, and then reloading it, and it will be back. So if I don't do that, then it's just going to be like this. This is the exocraft guy. We're not worried about exocraft right now. This is the ship technology merchant. Any ship technology you put into your ship, you cannot take back out. You can destroy it and get some resources for it, but you can't get the modules back out. So I don't upgrade my pillar. This is the multi-tool guy. He has a big fat C-class multi-tool, which costs 2 million units. Yeah, that's a little bit out of our price range, but that's what we're looking for. We want more slots, okay? We can't put much at all in this. But he has upgrades as well. Let's see what he's got. If this guy has a scanner upgrade, I'm gonna buy that. Early on, that's a great way to get money. Let's see what he has. Mining beam module, and that's it. So he does have an A-class scanner module. I've never actually gotten one of these and tested it. Let's just see what it does. All right, so that's gonna give me 8,000% on my flora analysis. Holy crap, that is awesome. This is the back room. Don't trust these guys. These are shady guys. I'm just kidding. You can talk to these guys if you want to. Make sure you pick up all of these squares around here because that's going to give you nav data and nanites. They're just lying around waiting for you to grab them. And in these back rooms, feel free to grab a bush if you like. You'll get some carbon out of them. Backroom bush, that's where the carbon's at. Okay? There is a trade terminal back here which sells different stuff from the trade terminal on the other side of the station. All right, this guy comes into play later. This guy is going to sell you kind of like knockoff technology. It's called suspicious technology. It has a chance to be better than S-Class, but more than likely it's not. These guys, I don't really worry about. This is a mission agent. You'll get to this a little bit later on, but you can talk to these guys and you can grab missions and they will give you money and nanites. He'll tell you what the offer is once he's ready to talk to you. And then this guy's going to sell you the maps. Let's go to Bob's starter base. This is a way to move around without actually using fuel in your ship as well. Your ship will magically appear. So now let's talk to our base computer, and this is going to take us on a quest to get the warp drive. All right, we got a signal. So we got a possible distress signal 30 seconds away. Pretty convenient for them, I guess, if they're alive. Now this is going to be another one of those situations where it's not going to take you exactly to where the distress signal is. So as you're coming in, you're looking for a crashed freighter, which I just saw it materialize right there. So he wants me to land over there. But let's not do that. Let's land in the free parking spot right here. Crash freighters have lots of resources in them. You see these cargo pods. There's 5 or 6 of these in the ship. You can see them, mark them, dig them up, get the stuff out of them. Or you can just come in here to the wreck and grab the plans for the hyperdrive and move on. I'll show you how to do both. For the hyperdrive, and it requires 125 chromatic metal and 5 microprocessors. Good thing we have that on us. And now we have a hyperdrive installed. It is not part of the quest to go through and check out these, but I like to get free stuff. So we're gonna bust this door open. We're gonna bust that door open so we can make a quick exit, because these are gonna release poisonous gas when we open them. So get as far away as you can to interact with it. It's gonna require, damn, that is expensive. 10 sodium and 10 chromatic metal to open it. Okay, I don't know that we're gonna get to all of those. Better give us something good for that. Seriously? 20 nanites? That is not worth it. All right, let's jump in. And now we're gonna have a auto diagnostic report. Hyperdrive successfully installed, but it is empty. We need to get hyperdrive fuel. It's gonna want us to fly out of the atmosphere and scan, and then it's gonna take us to a place where we can learn antimatter. Now this is gonna take us to an abandoned building like the one we built our base at. So if you wanna throw a base down there, feel free. We're coming to the terminal, empty the goop out, and collect our plans. And now we have the formula for antimatter, which takes chromatic metal and condensed carbon. See why I said that's important? Now that I have my additional jetpack, I can fly a lot farther. All right, so I'm gonna shoot those guys, and then I'm gonna run to the other side of the building real quick and hope they don't figure it out. Oh god, they figured it out. He was standing right there looking at me. But we can fly over there, and I can probably get there safely and get in without getting shot. Yay, I did it. Alright, now let's slap that in. And now we have refueled our hyperdrive. Look at those little boogers. They spit acid and it shoots you far across the screen. If you're playing on permadeath or survival, don't do what I just did, okay? It will hurt you. Oh shit, I didn't mean to get out. I didn't mean to get out. I didn't mean to get out. You saw him spit at me. So we have refueled our hyperdrive. Now it wants us to go open up our galaxy map for the first time, see how big this game really is. So let's go ahead and hit X, go to the little spinny galaxy map looking symbol, and look at all of the places we can explore. All of these stars are systems. Every single one of them you can go to if you have the warp fuel and the time and the patience. I mean, it's insane. Look at this. Look at this. That's the core right there. It's like 700,000 light years away from the, or 600,000 light years away from the galactic core, it says up there. But look at this. This is your playground, guys. If you get bored in here, it's on you. There's so much to do. So this is telling us destination to the galactic core. We can follow this route if we want to, but we don't have to. We can do whatever we want. You can go to Free Explore and just kind of go where you want. So I'm looking for a Vy'keen system personally, because I like the Vy'keen. They are the warrior race. So let's go to the Vy'keen system. Plus they have cool fighters, and I'm down with the fighters. And quite frankly, they have the best pants in the game.
Nice.
Seriously? First contact to the Twitch system? All right, we're in the Twitch system. So now we are going to have a hyperdrive error, and we need another fuel source. I don't know why we can't make our own fuel, but this is how it goes. All right, I may not be able to find this when I leave, but this is a transmission tower. Transmission tower is going to give you a crashed ship 9 times out of 10. Yeah, maybe 8 times out of 10, who the hell knows. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deploy a marker here by pressing E as I look through here, and then that'll leave it here. Now, if I leave the system, it's gonna go away. But I got a marker here for now. Okay, and I got free parking, so it doesn't cost me anything to do this. Again, I'm looking for opportunities, and that's one that I just happened to come across. Now this is going to give us a puzzle. So it's 1 doubled times 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 4 is 24, 24 times 5 is 120. So 120 times 6 is going to be 720. We got the distress signal, and we discovered coordinates, and we have a distress signal detected. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to that before I go to the next part. So let's do that. We're getting off mission, but that's okay. You can do that in this game. 22,000 for scanning that, okay? That's with that A-class upgrade. S-class will possibly even give you more. So I'm gonna go ahead and scan a few plants and make a few bucks. Just like that, 60 grand. And that crashed ship, unless there's an NPC standing there next to it, is gonna be ours. Kind of doing this before we're supposed to. We're about to learn about this in the quest line. It's a crappy ship. It's worth about what ours is worth, and it's all busted up. We're gonna also check this distress beacon because this is gonna give us a piece of technology, which is really, really cool. And there we go. We got a teleport receiver. Sweet. So now we got a free ship, which we can scrap, and we'll get a couple 100,000 for that, which is pretty cool. So we got our ship. Let's go follow back to the quest. That's it. Right there, something that looks like this. Now remember, if you don't see it, you can land and use your target sweep to find it. And there it is, fuel source. Go ahead and grab the words here while you're at it. You should be able to get 3 from these knowledge stones. All right, and then up here, we're gonna interact. Find us, traveler. Okay. Now we got a warp cell. Perfect. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but if you go into your log, you'll see you have primary missions and then secondary missions, okay? But if you click on this, the base computer quest has come online. Give it a second and it'll say archives online. You can come talk to your base computer, and then this is going to start giving you free technology. And now we have plans for a storage container. Now this is important. When you get plans from your base computer, you need to go ahead and craft that plan because it's going to start a clock for another hour and a half in real time. It's going to give you another set of plans if you haven't learned them already. The clock doesn't start until you craft what it wants you to craft. So we're going to go ahead and craft a storage container, and I'm just going to stick it right here. And it's actually still, I'm still interacting with this, but if you do it quick enough, you can do it while you're still in there. All right, so let's go ahead and leave, and then you'll see in the bottom it says base computer archives, hour and 29 minutes, 57 seconds. We're going. Now you can power this if you like, but I'm going to show you that you don't have to power this to access this storage container. If you come into your general inventory and you click X to transfer items on keyboard, you can see that you have access to your storage container inventory. There's nothing in there because we haven't put anything in there, right? But I can take this and I can quick transfer and put it in my storage container. I can take this and I can throw that in my storage container. Now that I go to transfer, I can transfer stuff right back out. So I can transfer this, get all this stuff right back out of my storage container. Pretty cool, and I don't even have to power it. So we're gonna fuel this, and we're gonna take our ship to the space station and scrap it. Make a few bucks. So you really only need like 1 or 2 to fuel it. I'm gonna try 1. Bam, nailed it. We're here. Our ship's there, it's no longer on fire. It has magically been repaired. Pretty cool. Now you can also call your ship into the anomaly once you get the anomaly unlocked, which we will very shortly. And now we're going to scrap this bad boy and get some more walking around money. Let's claim the scrap. It's only worth 283K. Now you don't get the money, you get scrap, okay? So we're claiming scrap, and we're going to get a bunch of random components. So we got, oh, we got some great components actually. That was a crappy C-class, but we got a storage augmentation, which increases the size of our ship. It's like a backpack slot for your ship. And then we got 4 modules. So let's go ahead and sell these modules and get some more nanites. Hey bro, you're ready to buy them, aren't you? We can purchase upgrade modules. Let's go ahead and sell. So we get 60-ish nanites a piece for these. So that's what, 240? Bam, back up to almost 1,600 nanites. Let's see if we can buy another movement module. We can, let's do it. Let's stick that in. Let's stick it here and do that. All right, so it automatically brings in our radiant pillar, so we don't have to do anything. It just summons it in for us. So it is here, and we can take this storage augmentation and we can put it into our pillar by upgrading it here. So if you happen to get a storage augmentation, you can put it in your pillar, or you can put it in whatever ship you want. If you're gonna get rid of the pillar, maybe you don't do it that way. But I'm gonna show you how it works. So we're gonna apply augmentation, and we can put it in either general or technology. Now, if you put it in technology, you will not get any return value from it. So if you plan on keeping the ship, there's no problem putting it in technology. But if you know you're gonna scrap it soon, maybe don't do that, okay? It will increase the value only if it goes into the general slots. I am going to stick this in general because I'm probably gonna get rid of this. Bam. And back to the quest line. All right, so I'm not seeing the ship. There's a lot of crap on the ground here. So I'm gonna land where it tells me to land and do a target sweep and see that it's this way. About 300 U, so let's go over here. There it is. This is a B class. Nice. If you get a good ship that's worth some money, feel free to throw a base computer down because you can reload and get that ship again if you want to. So we did get a mining beam upgrade, which is very helpful. Now, once you get the ship, you're going to the anomaly next. Before I go to the anomaly, I want to make sure I've got about 10 salvage data. And immediately once we go into space, we are getting a call. Let's get a clear spot in front of us because this next part is cool. And now we get to talk to Nada. Check this out. Boom. I hope that didn't spoil it for you. The first time that happened to me scared the piss out of me. Like the Death Star was coming to get me. So this is the space anomaly. Once we go through this part and follow the instructions and the steps here, then we will be able to kind of do whatever we want and we'll have pretty much full access to the game. Up until this point, we're kind of limited in what we can do. This is kind of phase 1 of the beginner's guide, getting you to the anomaly to unlock the rest of the game. And phase 2 is going to be how to get all the cool stuffs. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure notifications are on so you know when we drop part 2, how to get all the cool stuffs in No Man's Sky. And remember, travelers, if you're going to be a Bob, have fun with it. Oh, and if you're going to play No Man's Sky, you might want to check out SurvivalBob's Discord.